Hello and welcome back to the Mechanic Cooks. Today we're making a dish that's old school, deeply comforting, and very much at home in a Latin kitchen. Latin style beef liver with black beans and bacon, served over white rice. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and check out themechaniccooks.com. A full ingredients list and a link are in the description. We're starting with 8 ounces of beef liver, and the most important step happens before it ever hits the pan. The liver gets a milk bath for about 30 minutes. Soaking liver in milk actually changes the texture. The milk helps draw out excess blood and relax the muscle fibers, which keeps the liver from tightening up too fast when it cooks. That prevents the grainy, chalky texture people associate with overcooked liver, and it helps it stay tender and smooth. After soaking, rinse the liver under cold water to wash off the milk and any impurities. Then slice it into 1-inch strips. I prefer strips over cubes. They cook faster, stay tender, and don't disappear once the beans go in. For the flavor base, we're using bacon, onion, and garlic, a combination that shows up all across Latin home cooking. Start with 8 ounces of bacon in a cold pan over low heat. I always start with bacon in a cold pan because that slow heat lets the fat gently render instead of burning. That gives you clean, savory flavor and the perfect cooking fat for everything that follows. If you rush this step with a hot pan, the bacon browns too fast, turns bitter, and the flavor carries through the whole dish. Once the fat starts flowing, add 1 coarsely chopped onion and cook until translucent, about 10 minutes. Then add 3 cloves of finely diced garlic and cook for another 5 minutes, just until fragrant. At this point, remove the bacon, onion, and garlic from the pan and set them aside. We want that rendered fat left behind. Now add the liver strips directly into the pan. Let them cook for a couple of minutes to get a little color, then turn. You'll notice the liver releases some liquid here, and that's mostly water and natural proteins. Once that liquid appears, that's your cue that the liver is cooked enough to season. At this point, you're not searing anymore, you're finishing. Season with oregano, basil, and thyme, about a teaspoon of each, and turn the strips a few times so they get evenly coated. This is where the dish really starts to smell incredible. Return the bacon, onion, and garlic to the pan and mix everything together. Next, add 2 cans of black beans and 1 can full of water. I use black beans for a few reasons. They're a staple across Latin cooking, especially in dishes served with white rice, so they immediately place this meal in that tradition. Flavor-wise, black beans are earthy and slightly sweet, which balances the richness of the bacon and the liver without overpowering them. They also hold their shape when simmered, so they stay creamy without turning mushy. A handful of chopped olives. The olives are inspired by Cuban-style black beans. That salty, briny note balances the richness of the bacon and liver. And half a beef bouillon cube for depth. I'm using beef bouillon instead of chicken because even though chicken is more common in a lot of bean dishes, beef bouillon reinforces the flavor of the liver instead of pulling it in a different direction. Chicken would lighten the dish, but beef keeps everything cohesive. The beans, the bacon, and the liver all stay in the same flavor family. Lower the heat and let everything simmer gently for about 10 minutes. You're not trying to boil this, just letting the flavors come together while keeping the liver tender. Serve this over plain white rice and you've got a complete, nourishing meal, rich, savory, and deeply satisfying. Thanks for cooking with me, and I'll see you next time on The Mechanic Cooks.